Coming up on today's episode.
And it was, I mean, you've got to think not only colour, but size and scale. So those couches and coffee table they had before were massive, massive pieces. The photo doesn't do it justice, but you couldn't actually fully open the doors leading out onto the alfresco pool area because the couches were in the way.
Dodgy advice and bad decisions can cost you big in real estate. We're here to make sure that that doesn't happen. Welcome to the No BS Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Jo Agresta, and it's time to take control of your property journey together.
Hi, I'm Maria. I'm from Accent Home Staging, and I'm excited to be on the No BS Real Estate Podcast today. We're going to talk about everything home staging, why you should do it, what the value is, and you'll learn some tips and tricks as well.
Welcome back, everyone, to the No BS Real Estate Podcast, your listen-in how-to guide to the Aussie finance and real estate market. I'm your host, Jo Agresta. They say buyers make up their mind in the first 7 seconds of walking into a home, and nothing changes that faster than good or bad styling. If you're a seller trying to get the best price for your property, or a buyer who's walked through open homes wondering why some instantly feel better than others, this episode's for you. We're diving into the power of home staging, how small changes can completely transform a space and influence what buyers feel the moment they step through the door. And my guest today is Maria, property stylist who's swapped a long-term corporate career at NAB for a creative life transforming homes for sale. So from empty rentals to multi-million-dollar mansions, she's seen firsthand how styling can make or break a sale. Maria, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. What an intro. Loved it.
I'm so glad. No, because when we caught up in our pre-podcast interview, I had such a good chat with you. I don't think we got off the phone for nearly 2 hours. And then we just kept talking. And I'm like, okay, You got to come on and we got to talk about some stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
I'm so glad because, you had a really successful corporate career, right? And you were at NAB, and before moving into staging, like what pushed you to kind of make that change?
I've always had a creative urge, if you like.
Yeah.
Dabbled in creative things before. Well, actually, I started my corporate career very, very early on, but at the same time, I always dabbled in something creative. So I had a part-time wedding dress hire business on the side. I did beauty therapy. I qualified in beauty therapy, but I was always working at corporate because that was your
bread and butter.
That was my bread and butter, and and I was a ambitious 20-year-old with a mortgage. I mean, unfortunately, these days it's a bit harder to get one at that age, but I'm showing my age here.
No, not at all.
Yeah, the corporate thing sort of just stayed because it was my bread and butter, but I always wanted to do something creative. And you know what? I'm an empty nester. Time for me. Let's do something that we love. I've always been passionate about real estate specifically as well. I'm a real dag to say, I'll admit that my perfect Saturday is going to all the open for inspections. Pick a suburb and let's attack it and let's just go to open for inspections. Why? Just because I love houses and I love real estate and I love going to auctions.
Honestly,
so how am I going to get involved without actually being an agent, if you like? And this was perfect because I know other people that are in the industry and always jealous. Yeah, I said, it's time. Let's do you, Maria.
Good on you.
Let's do it.
And I love it because, when we were talking, I said, do you have any before and after shots of like the work you've done? And when I was looking through them, like when I was preparing your episode early this week, I was like, damn, you've done a great job. And we're going to show don't worry for our listeners. We're showing you today. They'll be on the screen because I'm really impressed with how much it changes the space. And you've got 100%. Such an eye for it. So I'm glad that you got your me time and you got your time to shine because you're really good at it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Genuinely. And I know, you said your mum ran the wedding dress shop and you did the wedding hire.
Well, it was actually me that ran it.
Oh, you ran it all.
Mum was the dressmaker.
That's right.
So she made everything. Poor thing, I don't even think I paid her.
No.
But
the payback was the fact that you're selling it.
She was happy to help me out, doing something in my business. So she was the dressmaker, but I actually ran the business.
And I guess did seeing, her creativity as well as yours, like it obviously sounds like you're both kind of creative minds. It's like that's where you get it from, right? Is that kind of what inspired you to then sort of go into your own business with the styling, like staging itself rather than working for someone else?
It was always going to be my own thing. I mean, being in corporate, I've worked for someone else for a very, very long time.
Yep.
I needed to do this my way. I just needed to do it my way. There are no... I just pivot. I keep changing, doing things differently. I don't need to get approvals. Red tape. I'm over red tape. If you've ever worked for corporate, listeners, you understand. Red tape, got to get 5,000 sign-offs and then wait for the stars to align. And by the time you execute something, it's not even valid anymore. I just let's just do it. I'm a go-getter. I just need it done. Want to do it. Didn't like it. Let's change it. It was always going to be my own thing.
I love it. And one of the things that I liked when we were talking was you talked about your first staging job and what it was like. And when did you realise after that first experience like that did it validate for you like this is what I'm meant to be doing? Absolutely.
It was obviously being the first one, you doubt yourself. There's no confidence. It's like, oh my God, I hope this works out all right. At the end of the day, I was happy with what our product and what we ended up with. However, the proof is in the pudding come auction. So it's like, I hope this sells. So this has been sitting on the market for 6 months, no interest. It was just an empty, rundown
property.
Dirty, should I say. And then just the basics, like get it cleaned up. Let's pretty it up. Let's make it appealing. It's still a good house.
Yeah.
You're just not showing it in its best light. So when the auction day came around and it went 65 grand over reserve, I was like, okay, this really works. It really, really works.
It's like
and
validation.
It just gave me the confidence and the drive to just want to do it more and help the vendors get the best possible result that they can get.
And that's what really stuck out to me, right? Because that property on the market for 6 months with no interest, it's common for, I guess, a lot of sellers who maybe sometimes don't either have the right agent, or in this case, I think you'd probably find that a lot of buyers are stubborn on their budget for selling and marketing the property, and they really devalue the benefit of staging, which is what this episode is all about.
Yep, absolutely.
This is way too long. And
yes. I mean, the money you're losing on and it was sitting there empty. There was no rent coming in. You're still paying off the mortgage. So all that money, if you just invested it up front, you would have saved as well because it wouldn't have taken that much money.
To actually get it sold and get it done.
But, it's that mindset of it's a strategic investment, not an expense. It's really convincing people that that's how to look at it. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
But once people have done it and they realise the benefits, the word of mouth, it's growing. Home staging is becoming so popular because people that have done it are really advocating for it.
100%.
So it's good for the industry and it's good for them because they're getting top dollar.
Well, that's right, because part of I think the reality of staging, right, is people often think staging is all cushions and flowers, but you've mentioned doing, and this one spun me out, 25,000 steps in a day staging a mansion. What's a day like that actually involve?
I know. I can't believe I survived it. And it's not. The thing is, people think that it's just that day. Oh, they're just going to come. They're going to bring a couch and a table and some flowers and
it's going to be fun.
And they're done. And it's fun and it's party and all that stuff. But the actual real, well, I'm not saying the day isn't real work because it is, but the prep.
Yeah.
The prep. Like going through room by room and, jotting it all down, designing what you're going to do in each room, what theme are you going with, what colour palette are you going with. And then you've got that planned out and then actually pulling the inventory, getting everything off the shelves, into tubs, into buckets, lined up, ready for the movers to come and get it. And you've got to do it in a certain order as well. All that prep and then on the day, putting everything in the right room, and then finally you get to style.
Yeah.
That's the end part.
So it's like the reward.
It is. It really is. And then once you're done, you think, okay, it's done, but it's not. Now I've got to remove all the bits and pieces and all the tubs and get it all loaded onto the car. So it's photo. The very, very last bit, me walking around just videotaping it all and taking my photos. I'm like,
it's like it looks so nice.
It's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. Yeah.
And I think that's what I didn't even think about. I'm like, yeah, wow, you have to actually visualize it, which is really hard.
That's the hard, that's probably the most challenging part, especially when you've got some houses that are, you're a bit stumped. You're going, how am I going to make
it pop.
this? Yeah, make it pop. It's that planning and getting all that styling done on paper. That's the hard part.
Like, yeah, because that takes a very creative person. So it speaks volumes, and it makes me appreciate, the effort you've done in this next section, like with all the work you've put into these staging. Because yeah, you're seeing it in your brain, and it's kind of like you have to try and explain it to someone else and go, just listen.
I know. And people see that like a room and it looks effortless.
It does.
Simple.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's simple.
So nice.
It looks effortless. But no.
Do you know what happened?
Choosing all those, everything is intentional. It's choosing all the little bits and pieces and how they're going to, where you're going to position them, because you've also got to think about where's the photographer going to take the photos from, which angle.
True.
So I've got to stand at the front door and actually make sure things are,
oh my God.
There's no massive plant or something in the middle blocking the view to outside. Like there's a lot to think about.
That's so true. And I think one of the things that I, when we were talking, you mentioned, like I was saying, does anyone ever do you ever keep the furniture that people already have in their home, right? And there was one house you mentioned, it was a beautiful mansion, had the Versace pool house. I think it's the same property. And then you said you walked in. What did you say?
It was a lovely gold and blue throne. And that's what it was. It was a throne. It was like a really high back, arms, with gold scalloping and velvet. And it was like, what? That was the first thing when you walk in. I'm like, yeah, no, we can't do that one. So, yeah, we had to find somewhere else to put that.
That's like somewhere in the back.
Exactly.
And do you find a lot of people, like when you're working with them, they let you do the full stage, or are a lot of people kind of wanting partial staging in the sense like they're...
Both.
Okay.
So we've got people that are still living in the place and they
true.
need to keep some of their furniture. So we'll work around that. There are people that are obviously, there's a vacant house, great. Some people it's vacant, but they've got furniture there because they were renting or whatever and they've got nowhere to put it and we've got to work with it. Look, if worst comes to worst and we just can't work with the pieces, i.e. we'll put it in the garage or something like that.
True.
So we don't have to get rid of it, but we just need it out of sight for the photos at least. Or the first impression when people walk through, that's not going to be front and centre and slap him in the face.
But you know what makes me laugh though? I can just picture the real estate agent listing ad that there would be like, live the life of a king.
Yes,
it's like,
yes.
Okay. It's like, thanks for pointing out the worst
for royalty.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just picturing all the bullshit.
Yeah.
And do you ever get sellers that push back, when you're recommending removing the existing furniture, or not always?
We do.
Yeah,
we do. I know. I've got one coming up on. I've got one coming up. I'm doing a consult in a couple of days, and the agent has already warned me,
right,
that these vendors want to keep all their furniture there. It's a deceased estate, so they're not living there.
Yeah,
but they don't want to move all the stuff. So I've gone, that's fine. We can work with existing pieces. Not a problem. He goes, no, you don't understand. He goes, Franco Cozzo furniture is great. I'm like, okay, so that's going to be a challenge. We'll see what we do with that. So, I'm prepping myself for that one.
Maybe we'll need
I'll
to
let
get
you
an
know
update.
how it goes.
I was like, we're going to need a walkthrough. We're going to need a video. No.
So, yeah, we'll see. Well, I'm not sure how we'll tackle that one, but I'm already thinking maybe and I haven't done this because I've been using my own sort of couches or neutral couches and stuff, but covers that I can put on them.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if I have to use them. We'll figure it out.
Hopefully the agent's just made it out worse than what it is.
I'm hoping. But when he says Franco Cozzo furniture is nice compared to this, I'm scared.
But I think part of what you would do, I think for yourself is you'd have those, you always have to have those tough conversations with those owners. And, I think this kind of defeats the purpose of you want a good result for your house. You kind of have to work with the professionals here, because if someone's saying to you, it's not because you get more money for every piece of item or furniture. It's because, well, look, if you want it to sell, it's got to make sense.
Yeah, exactly right.
So,
and it's not that you know, a couch is going to be the deal breaker for someone that really wants the house.
Yeah.
It's that whole emotional connection and the psychology of it. People walking in and envisioning their own life there. If it's something that's specific to a taste, could be off-putting, because as a buyer, I'm not only looking at this house. Today I'm looking at 5 different houses. And if I get a better feel walking into a different house with neutral furniture that I can envision myself in, and I know I can put my stamp here because I know how I'm going to decorate this, because the visual of it allows me to think that way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm probably going to go more towards that house than this house.
Makes sense. And it makes sense. Like the next question I have for you was, what's the number one thing that you think most homeowners get wrong even before you arrive?
Clutter and cleaning, making sure it's spick and span, and just removing what doesn't have to be there. It's understanding it's your home. Your home should be how you like to live. Now, if you like knickknacks and whatever, and
it's usually grandma's house,
but go for it. It's your home. It's your space. But you're selling. You're selling, and you want to appeal to a broad range of buyers. So you want to neutralize it as much as possible and depersonalize it. If I walk in and I just see an art gallery of your family photos, to me, I'm already in your home, not my home.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to see this as my home. So instead, just by replacing those photos, don't throw them. I mean, they're yours. It's your family. It's your home. Take them to your new home. But let's put some artwork there that's going to just appeal.
Makes sense.
Little simple things like that. Depersonalizing. And get rid of all the fridge magnets.
Oh, the fridge magnets. Oh, I'm a culprit for that one. It's like I've got every holiday on
and
there.
And again, love it for you in your home. Yes, holiday souvenirs, whatever, but not when you're selling.
No,
it just makes it look busy. It doesn't need to. You need to make it look as neutral as possible.
It's so true. Like back when I was even as a real estate agent, when I first started, I was in a lower socioeconomic area, like a Hampton Park back then wasn't selling much. And the houses were just, the staging was very not common. It was a display home thing, right? It was like if someone paid for staging, it was usually our properties that were in more affluent areas, right? Yeah. Whereas in these smaller properties, they were on the market for like 300,000 back then. No one was staging them, and they just were full of crap. And I'm like, part of the reason why we couldn't get good photos and good marketing here is because it looks like crap, and the sellers just, go, well, I'm not spending any money on it. It is what it is. Yeah. I'll clean it at best. And it's like, you're really not helping me here.
Times have changed.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And I want to show people what, you mean, right? Because your before and afters say it better than words ever could. I've got this one here. This is our before and after breakdown. I've got some transformations that you've personally done. And I've got a few before, like your own work here, this first one. I love it because it's a light and flowy living room. Now, when you guys will be able to see this on the screen now, our producer will get that done. We've got a picture on the left. This is before Maria styled it, and it seems empty. There's actually no furniture in it at all. It looks like it would echo, and it's quite cold. Now, after, on the other side, you can see that it's completely changed the space. It's bright, it's calm, and it's cohesive, and it looks like somewhere that I could see all this light, whereas the other one looked dark. It's just unreal.
Exactly. Let the light in. Let there be light. Bringing the light in, opening up all the curtains, wherever light can come from, let it come in. And also, selecting lighter pieces of decor and furniture with pops of colour make all the difference. And the way the furniture is placed as well. They say,
Feng Shui?
Feng Shui is a massive thing as well. I mean, that photo is taken from the front door, so you can walk through. There's nothing blocking any energy, any flow. And it's a misconception of saying putting couches against walls because it's going to make the space look bigger. If anything, it doesn't do you any favours. So you want to create flow with the furniture placement and making sure that you've got cohesive zones.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Somewhere where you can have conversation, somewhere where you can enjoy company, not all backed up against walls with a massive
Oh.
area in the middle.
It looks like a well.
Yeah, exactly. So things like that are important as well. But yeah, it's all about making it light and airy and creating flow.
You did a tremendous job with this one, because when I was looking at how dark the before photo was, like, and I can see that all the downlights are on, and I can see that the doors, you know, are wide and open, but then I can't get over that how much lighter furniture makes a big difference in the look and feel of it. Like, it's awesome. I loved that one, and I had to put it in because you sent me a folder and I was having so much fun.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look at that. I love a good before and after.
Choose which ones. I'm going, I'll just send a bunch and choose your favourites.
Well, these are my personal favourites, that's for sure, because this study home office area, I've seen photos like this on realestate.com for listings time and time again. And again, just to describe to our listeners, we've got the before photo, which is a very, you know, it's an empty space. It's got one, you know, chest of drawers in it. The blinds are shut. There's one piece of artwork on the wall on the left. And it looks very empty, very dark, and it doesn't really do much. And it's meant to be a study area. Now, when Maria's styled it, you can see that there's these beautiful glass doors that we've totally missed in that first image. Now, in the next one, where after the stylings happened, Maria's just totally made this a warm and productive but professional environment. And just, can I add, by opening those blinds, you can now see the greenery, and you've put the desk there to make it look like you're working in nature. Sorry, I'm already like, what the hell am I doing with my office? I see a shed. So it looks awesome. How important is it for, you know, even though it's a study and everyone probably discounts, oh, we're not going to take a photo of the study, people can just come in and have a look. How important is it for each room to tell a story of how someone could live there?
Oh, it's so important. And, you know, we style with intention. This is a home office. In today's age, with so many people working from home as well, you need a space where you can actually work uninterrupted. And things like, you know, when in our own home offices at home, a lot of the time we're facing a wall.
Yeah, it's true.
With our back to the door. So with styling, you know, we twist that around and we make sure that you're facing out into the room. So you'll be sitting at the desk facing out into the room. So that, again, when you're taking photos, you're not looking at the back of a chair. You're looking at the office from a different lens.
Yeah, because can I just say your video camera and your angle, yes, I can tell you're a stylist. It looks so nice, and I've got that envy. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've got to move that crap in my background.
Thank you. Actually, I can't remember what I had when I spoke to you. I think I had a piece of art behind
You did,
me. And that wasn't even my taste. I've got to say. That was my son bought that piece of art. He decided he's going to invest in a few pieces of art, and that was it's his old bedroom that I've made my office.
Oh, good on you.
So I've left that. He hasn't taken it with him because he's moved out. So I've left that there, but I've now replaced it. I actually ended up moving it because I nearly dropped it, and it's an expensive piece of art. Something happened and I bumped it, and I went, God forbid if I break this, he's never going to forgive me. Yeah, so I took it off.
Good thinking. And what do you keep in mind? Like, this is obviously a smaller room. You've made it look so much bigger in the second image.
Well, things like the rug. Area rugs are so important to anchor the space. Right. And then, you know, just little secrets of making sure at least the front two legs of each piece of furniture is on that rug.
Really?
And it really anchors that space, and it just makes so much difference.
So true, because now that I'm looking at the image, yeah, you have actually done exactly that, and it does anchor. It does anchor it. I didn't even think of it.
So even in a living room, if you've got your couch and your accent chairs and whatever, but nothing is on the rug because the rug is small, that's how you know your rug isn't the right size.
Oh, interesting.
You should have at least the first two legs of all the chairs touching the rug.
I'm going home,
and you'll see the difference. It'll just feel different.
That's it. I'm calling the photo.
Little tips and tricks that I've got up my sleeve.
No, it's the power of it, honestly, because this next one was a big difference. Because truthfully, right, when I saw the before, the furniture's really dark and it kind of clashes. So what you're seeing for those listeners out there, we've got a living room area. It's got a darker wood kind of floor colour with the herring, is it called herringbone, I think, pattern.
Yes.
And then you've got a dark rug, a massive dark coffee table, by the way, huge coffee table. And then you've got a dark coloured couch. And then the rest of the house behind it is white. And it's kind of, it doesn't seem balanced. But then the after, for when Maria came in, she's made that whole space once again brighter than before. And I can't get over the colour selection of the furniture making this difference, because that's what it is. Like, you can see that it's the same lightness in the room, but the furniture completely darkened it.
Absolutely. And it was, I mean, you've got to think not only colour, but size and scale. So those couches and coffee table they had before were massive, massive pieces. The photo doesn't do it justice, but you couldn't actually fully open the doors leading out onto the alfresco pool area because the couches were in the way. And we couldn't bring them more forward either, because then you were going to block the walkway from. There's a fireplace on the right. So by using smaller furniture and lighter furniture, we've just opened it all up and created such a different zone. And the lighter rug, that rug actually that they had there is the one I ended up using in that study.
Oh, really?
But yeah, so it worked there.
Oh my God, it is too.
So you can repurpose things. You know, you go, if it doesn't work, you can work somewhere else. Jeez. So you've just got to think about how, again, it's all in the planning.
Yeah, and this is like part of like what magic you've done with these. So I really love that. So well done, because I love those images. They stuck out to me. And, you know, now that we've seen the magic of like doing it right, I'm going to do a segment, but I'm actually going to do this in a different location to the office. We're going to do it in another place because I want to show you these images. So coming up on the show, we're going to do a stage it or scrap it segment. And I'm going to show you these listings that, you know, you haven't seen them before. I've described them to you before we caught up. But I'm going to show you the photos and I want to get your opinion on how much of a difference staging could have made to these properties and prices. Okay, so that's coming up. And one thing that I want to talk about that's becoming so prevalent in this industry is AI staging. I find it a massive issue on a personal note. We're seeing more and more listings using AI staged furniture. Why do you think it's becoming so popular?
It's cost effective.
Yeah, true.
It's cost. I mean, you don't have to pay for an actual company to come and stage the house physically, and it's easy.
But is it effective?
Both those reasons. Now, the effective part, personally, it could get you in the door, so it can get a buyer to come and have a look at the house because it can look impressive online.
Of course.
On the flip side, it can also not. I've seen some fails, but the initial emotional reaction of a buyer coming into a house that they've seen online that looks a particular way and then seeing it totally empty is a negative one.
Yeah, it is.
It's a negative emotion. So I'm immediately underwhelmed rather than the other way around, you know, seeing it empty online and then going and seeing it staged. I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like that changed my mind.
So if my immediate emotion is negative, that's not really what, you know, you want.
And it's hard to see past it, right? Like, staging makes such a difference because, like you said, you're helping someone visualize how are you going to be in this home?
Yes.
Can you picture your life here? Because we all know that buyers will decide if that's the home for them in the first 30 seconds of walking in, of getting that impression of, oh, wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Whereas if you walk into a dark, empty room like that first one you had before, I'm not even going to probably look at it online, to be honest.
Exactly.
And that AI staging, it's true. It's such a disappointment when you go to properties. I've been to some inspections where I've seen them stage like the AI's done a really good job, but then I go there and there's nothing in there, or there's random furniture, and I'm like, huh? It's
totally different to what you were expecting, and not in a good way.
No, it's underwhelming and disappointing,
to
be frank.
Exactly right.
And, you know, you said you've gone to open homes too, in my position, like where you said the AI's staged but the property's empty. How did that feel for you?
Devastated.
Because you love going to an open.
And I love seeing the styling as well. Like that's, you know, I'm really curious to see, you know, what how properties are being styled, and yeah, not good.
No, it's a letdown, right?
It is, absolutely.
Do you ever see a way of, because AI is so prevalent right now, do you ever see a way that AI and traditional staging will complement each other, or are they just totally at odds?
I do actually see that they could complement each other. So, you know, you could go a hybrid approach where you could use it to present a property online and then get it traditionally styled, but only in main areas like your living, master bedroom, kitchen.
Yep.
Like if you want a cost-effective
way of doing it,
or a cheaper version of the full staging, if you like. Yeah, so again, you can do every room with AI and then traditionally stage only a few rooms. So it's
so
it can
like
work together. Yeah.
I think that makes sense too, because then if the AI is as close to possible as what that staging is in those other rooms, then you're just helping visualize. And it's not so much that you're saying, well, here's an empty house that's completely fake.
Exactly right.
So it makes sense. And, I want to talk about some key takeaways here for sellers and agents, because I can't believe how fast the time's flying. And that's why I'm going to do your segment separately, because I really want to focus on that other one because it's a huge topic at the moment. But some key takeaways. If a seller can only do 3 things before listing a property, what should they be?
I think I mentioned them already, but declutter, depersonalize, and neutralize.
Neutralize, that's a good one.
So really, really in your face, decorative pieces or accent walls and things like that. It's a cost-effective change that will make a massive difference.
Because you're also consulting them on not just putting in furniture, but it's also like, do you have a bright pink wall, a feature wall that your daughter or your son really loved, and you said, yeah, paint your bedroom wall, I don't care. Now you're looking at it going, I'm not selling it with a fuchsia wall.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we've had to work with feature walls.
Yeah, of course.
I had a house where every room had a different colour.
That's hard.
So, yeah, it's hard. But
your inventory would be so scatterbrained.
Trying to plan that one, but we made it work.
Yeah.
You look at the colour palette and you go for something that's going to enhance
the space,
that colour palette. Like you'll choose decor and bedding and cushions and rugs and whatever that are really going to complement that. So we're going to detract from that. So, for example, if the wall is purple, we're not using purple.
Yeah, makes sense.
And really accentuate it. And they can actually come up pretty good.
No, they would.
And even art, putting a massive piece of a complementary colour art piece on that wall can look amazing. So they don't always have to paint. They don't really have to spend a lot of money. It depends on the budget. We'll work with all budgets and what people are willing to do. But we can pretty much make anything work.
I like that you said that, right, because I think if people assume that, staging, oh, God, that's expensive, I'm not going to do it. But, one of the things that stood out and why I wanted you on the show was the fact that you do work with all budgets. It's like you don't have to have a $50K budget to be here.
No, absolutely not. And even if you're not getting it staged, little things like, I'm saying art and go, I've got to go buy a big piece of art. You know what? Get a piece of art that you've already got, a massive one. Go to Spotlight, get some printed fabric of a print that you love that's quite, neutral, might have a bit of something in it. See what actually works against that colour and just cover it up, staple it on. There's your art.
Right. I'm going home to do my own transformation and I'm going to send it to you and be like, Maria, help.
It doesn't have to be expensive. You just have to think outside the box.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that tip. I think a lot of people out there are going, oh, shit, why have I not been doing that my whole life? I'm going to buy all this art.
And fabric, the styles, the colours, the prints.
Oh, it's so fun.
And you can just keep changing it up.
Yeah, because there's even different textures too, right?
Absolutely.
You can get
the textures you can get are amazing.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome on the wall.
Right. No, I'll keep you updated.
I saw your eyes light up when I said that. I was like, yeah, she wants to try it.
Yeah, I am. I'm like, you have no idea what I'm doing. And I guess what's one piece of advice that you want to give to agents when they're explaining the value of staging to their vendors? Because a lot of the time, the agent is the first kind of point of contact where maybe a vendor or a seller is hearing about staging. What tip do you want to give to agents out there that are like, how should I actually talk about this? Because some of my sellers don't go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I mentioned before, it's explaining that it's a strategic investment, not a cosmetic expense.
Yeah.
And the stats back it up. A staged home will typically sell more than an unstaged home, and up to 20-30%.
It's a huge jump.
It's ridiculous sometimes. But if you spend $3,000, for example, on staging, you probably get 30 grand more than what you would have if it wasn't. So it's really selling the value. It's not, yes, initially it's an expense and, oh God, I'm going to be out of pocket. But there are actually processes in place where you can pay after settlement.
Oh, wow.
And things like that.
So it lowers the risk again.
It lowers the risk again, and it's really showing the value add that something as simple as home staging can really bring.
I can't agree with you more. Like, and if you're not convinced by, you know, what we've talked about today and seeing the before and afters that, you know, that I showed of Maria's work, like it makes a difference. Like all of you listening to this podcast, you're active home buyers or sellers, like you're thinking about selling or buying. And you've gone to open for inspections and you've seen properties that are poorly presented and you've opted not to buy them. I would encourage you to ask yourself that question. Why didn't you buy it? Was there something that didn't appeal to you? And what was it? Was it just the vibe you got when you walked in? And a lot of the time these days, we're all going by gut feel and vibe and emotion. So it's like, if I don't get that, what you said at the start, if I don't feel positive going in or I feel empty and cold, it's not for me. Or if I see everyone's gallery of family members, I'm not into it.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So and it's not, I haven't mentioned though, yes, inside the house is important, but also curb appeal. Don't forget curb appeal. Mow the lawn, clean up, make sure, like, you know, because it's a first impression. It's the first thing you see.
Yeah, off the street too.
You know, the inside of the house might be beautiful, but I might not even go in if I don't like what I see on the outside.
That's
because
true.
I'm going to assume that the inside is like the outside.
And do you do a lot in that as well?
So we'll furnish al fresco areas.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Or, you know, the front patio, we'll put a table setting, you know, coffee porch, things like that. But in terms of the garden side of things, we don't do that. But I may as well give Mem's mowing a plug because that's my husband's business.
Come on, Mem, we'll get you on board, mate.
And he does gardening, but we don't, you know, it's a different business. But I have used him for properties that have needed a clean up. So it's so important.
I love that. And good on you, Mem. And hopefully, you know, I think that makes a big difference when the fact that you've even got someone to rely on that you trust, you know, to come in and say, you know, this property needs a good mow, a good clean out, some hedges trimmed.
Absolutely.
Neaten it all up. And I think a lot of the time, like we don't realise, or, you know, sellers and buyers maybe don't realise it's an investment. You're trying to sell your property. You might as well give it the best crack.
100%.
You know, stage it well, make it look presentable, make it look appealing to your target market. And if your agent's doing the right job, your stage has done the right job, you'll go way more than what you anticipated, I think. And like you said, the data shows that and the stats show that.
Absolutely, because people become emotionally attached to properties.
100%.
If you've ever been to an auction where people are just outbidding each other.
Oh, yeah, no, they're in love.
And I mean, I've been to those where I've wanted to be the bidder and then I've stepped out because it's gone way over my price range. Mm-hmm. But people are just emotionally attached to the feel. It's the feel, how you feel when you walk into a house and you go, I want to live here. I can see myself sitting there having my coffee. I can see myself chilling out in this zone. You can visualize it. So,
well, it's like I say this for building, right? Like we accept the fact that display homes are always furnished and styled, but how often do we fall in love with the styled home, the display, the format, the layout, and we're like, let's go. No,
absolutely.
Okay, so Maria, I want to play a game called Stage It or Scrap It. All right, so I'm going to show you 3 listings. Now, I will show you these with a bit of a caveat, no expectations. And I've pulled up a few real listings that are actually on the market right now or were on the market. So I'd love to hear your thoughts as a professional on how does staging kind of impact or could impact these types of properties that haven't been staged yet. So let's go. I've gone to Hampton Park for this one. And what we're looking at is, for the listeners, it's big red walls in the property. And here are some of the photos. So we've got some light floors with, what would you call it, burnt orange curtains?
More on the brown side than the orange side. I know what.
Oh, yeah, rusty.
Yeah, we'll call it rust.
Rust, yeah, very rustic, with some Barker lounges. We've got a kitchen here, so like a beige floor, normal kind of dining table. Kitchen's not too bad.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's pretty standard.
Pretty stock standard.
Yeah.
Got a couple of different colours there, some reds and aquas. And then we've got our outside, which is pretty normal. Grass looks nice and green, actually. And then we've got our master suite.
Okay.
All right. We've got a couple of photos for reference. Just tell me immediately, like, what's your first move walking into this house? If you've seen it online, when are you inspecting it?
Okay. My first question is, do we need to keep the furniture here?
True.
Do we need to keep the furniture or is it going to be empty for staging? Obviously, the worst case scenario is we need to keep the furniture here.
The absolute worst case scenario.
You know what? Most of everything I could work with. but the bedroom was probably the biggest challenge, and the curtains.
Yeah, the curtains are...
So the curtains, we've had situations where the curtains are staying, look, and they're short. Oh my God. God. Okay. Where they go, no, the curtains are staying. That's it. So you know what I suggest? Actually take that pole and the curtain totally off and have nothing on the open for inspection. Just have a window.
Really? Just a window?
For the opens, I mean,
Yeah.
they come off the hook.
Yeah, they do.
It's going to do a lot more aesthetically than that is, because the eye goes there straight away.
Yeah,
and
it
I don't
does.
want the eye to go there. But it can go outside and have a look at the outside. That's fine. I just don't want if you're not going to swap out the curtains, let's just take them off on the days of the opens and for the photos. Simple.
Easy. I love that.
But in terms of the other bedroom with that
We're going
furniture,
back to this one here.
that had to stay. That is a challenge. However, I'd be using the biggest European cushions you've ever seen in your life, standing upright against that bed head to hide as much of it as possible.
That's smart.
And really soften the whole look. And then white. Doing white bedding, really long, draping down. Obviously, I won't drape over the front part of it, but again, to get rid of your eye going to the furniture, I'd probably put like a soft white boucle ottoman or something at the foot of the bed with a throw. Just soften the whole look, and an area rug under the bottom part of the bed.
That makes sense.
So that'd be a couple of immediate things that I would do. Let
can-
alone the rest that I would play around with. I'd have a field day in that room.
But just for these couple of
Yeah.
tips, like these are the biggest challenging,
Yeah.
the challenges of the house, I think.
Yeah, you don't want, so when you walk into a room, you don't want to, the furniture is not supposed to be the showcase. The space is.
That's a good tip, actually. That's true.
I'm buying the space, not your furniture, which is why we go neutral a lot and accentuate the room and what's happening in the room with decor and colour pops.
That's smart. And I didn't even think of like putting that, like you said, an ottoman right in front would hide the bulk of that end of the bed, because that's the part that I'm like, oh God, how would you just sort?
So even just a light coloured rug underneath and an ottoman with a cushion or a throw or something like that, all of a sudden, that's not the focal point.
That's true, because I would not even look at that. I would be looking at how it's styled. It's amazing. See, this is why, in my opinion, scrap it or stage it. I would be staging the crap out of it, but you've done already.
If they can't move it, they go, nah, we're living here throughout the campaign and we need this bed here, we'll work with it. And we come up with ways to make it look as good as possible.
But even what you just said, like you didn't even look at it for that long to basically say, no, this is how we could do it. Like it just shows your skill set for this and your eye for it.
Yeah, once you've seen a few, you get better.
You're like, yeah, we've been here before. I've got this next property. So for this one, we're going into Cranbourne. So I'll open up the photos big here. So the front of the house, pretty standard, red brick and white kind of accents. And if we go into the property.
Is that a rug or a tiled floor?
It's a rug.
Okay. And okay. And the wall, that sponge.
Very big in the 90s, I think.
It was, wasn't it?
2000s.
Okay.
So for everyone who's listening, what we've got is we're in Cranbourne West. There's a very bold colour patterned rug, dark, it's dark and light. It's very confusing, actually. The couch is multicoloured, in my opinion, not like rainbow. I'm talking like we've got browns, we've got beiges, we've got whites and light greys. And then you've got a very small, teeny kitchen. It looks very teeny tiny in the photo in contrast to the living space. And I think that's actually a TV with an image on it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
because there's a wire, there's a cord.
Yeah.
Is that a cord with?
And then there's powder blue curtains.
Yeah.
So
this, yeah. So in our staging company, we don't swap out window fittings, curtains and blinds. What's there is there. And if we can convince you to change them, fantastic. Take them off, fantastic. If we need to work with them, well, then that's the colour we need to work around. So whatever we bring in, we'll make sure complements that.
Right.
Again, to detract from that being the thing that you look at.
Because what's the thing that grabs you immediately?
Immediately it's the rug and the size of that couch. the size, so the scale, it's way off. It's bulky, it's big, it's up against the wall. There's no flow. There's no coffee table. There's no
There is a
area.
coffee table.
Oh, there is a coffee table. I thought that was a
ottoman.
Yeah, like a foot race, like a chase. But it is a coffee table.
It is
You're
a
right.
teeny tiny coffee table.
So, but the first thing I do when I look at that is rug's gone
Yep.
and the couch is gone.
And I'm not sure if I'm seeing this the same way as you. Are there 2 or 3? I think there's 4 rugs in this image. 1, 2, 3 into the kitchen, and then this extra. Or is that like a?
Anyway, rugs are going. Rugs are going. Yeah. And just that alone, getting rid of the rugs and making it all one neutral, one same look
Yeah.
instead of bits and pieces hogwash is going to change a lot. We'd bring a neutral rug in. I'd put different setup of the lounge in terms of I'd put a smaller couch with an accent chair, a TV unit here on the beautiful wall.
It's a very high up TV.
Cover that whole and bring that TV down or get rid of it altogether.
Yeah.
And actually maybe even not have a TV and we'll just lean up some art on the TV unit that complements the colour of that wall.
Yeah.
To make it actually look appealing.
Because
if we can't paint it, if they were
Willing.
open to painting it, then I would say paint it, a neutral white, a warm white.
Because I was going to say, if they weren't willing to paint it, I find I don't know if like this is just me, like obviously I can see that these kind of match each other, but the blue with that feature wall, how difficult would that, would you think it complements or could you make it work?
It could, we definitely could make it work and it could complement because it is a warm neutral. It just looks the way it looks because of how it's
That's true.
presented with the rug and the curtains and everything. But once you've made everything, you've brought some natural textures and neutrals in, you'd be surprised that wall will sort of start to disappear.
Yeah.
You put art again on that wall, it won't be the thing that draws your eye.
Yeah. Because it's very catching that the rug is the first thing I see.
The rug is the first thing. That's the 100%. Everything is based around that.
This is the other
Here
angle.
we go.
So this is from the other side.
So have they got 2 of the same rug or is that just one?
That's what I'm saying. No, it's 2 of the same
Big-ass rug.
If it's a big ass rug, where do you get it?
Oh my God. Okay, so that's the other angle.
So
There is so much you could do in this room. Just take everything out and just let me play.
So that's your kind of thing would be to the owners, like if they said, what do I do with this? You would go, let's get rid of it all.
Take it out. But now that I look at it from this angle, I think this couch is one colour and that's like a throw on each end.
Oh,
to
yeah,
make
maybe
it
you're
look
right.
white. It's actually a grey couch.
I think you're right. Or is it different colour? I'm so confused by it because this colour grey looks so different.
It's covered.
Oh, they're
It's
covered.
Right. And it's a modular, so if that can be separated,
Yeah.
it can create 2 different couches sort of facing each other, more conversational if we had to keep them. We would rearrange the whole layout.
Oh, wow. That's actually a really good point. I didn't even pick up on the fact that they're covered with those almost like a car in the 80s.
Yeah. Exactly. So, look, number 1, let's get rid of everything. If not, and we had to work with it, the rugs can definitely go. There's no reason why you can't move the rugs.
Yeah.
And just that alone will make a big difference on how we can play around with the rest. And I'd remove the coffee table as well because the scale of that coffee table versus the couch is just off.
Because there's a lot, like you said, you can do in that space. There's so much opportunity because there's a whole empty corner.
There's a whole empty corner. Where are the plants? Where are the art? Where's a mirror? Where's a TV unit? I didn't even see that because it's so small. Like it's scale. The scale is just not right. That's the entrance to the front door.
Yeah.
So there's you're walking into what? Just a rug.
There's the very nice picture on the TV.
All right, next.
So this is one, the kids' room.
Okay. Yeah, obviously they're not living like that, I don't think, or are they?
They might be a cultural thing.
Oh, actually, you're right. I didn't even think. I thought it was furniture just stacked up just because we're moving and we just got it in the corner. No, you're absolutely right. That is a cultural thing. I didn't touch on that. When you're selling a house and I said depersonalise, that's one of the things. Try, obviously, respectful of all religions and cultures. It's your home that you're selling. You want everyone to envision themselves in this space. So removing any religious artefacts is something that I would encourage, just for the open for inspections and the photos. When you're living there, of course, bring them back. It's your home. But to not put off any potential buyers, I would be making it, like I said, neutralised. Just no religion, no personal photos, nothing like that.
I think this is one thing, like, you know, to make clear to all our listeners, right, it's not about someone coming in and saying, that's ugly, oh, that's awful, get rid of it, and, oh, you can't have a personal photo of your kid on the wall. It's more about saying you're trying to market. So you're in a position of marketing now. We're not talking about how to make your home your home. That's a different type of styling and journey. This is like, how do we make someone who we don't know who it is, could be anyone that walks in, just needs to be able to visualise the space as their own. That's it. So it's not personal to take these things away, and it's not an attack on you. It's just, how do we help you sell it? Not everyone is, if we were in the country of this culture, maybe that's the most appealing way to do it. But in this case,
no, that's right. That's something that, you know, it might put some buyers off.
Yeah.
So you're trying to not put any buyers off for any reason. You're trying to give them any reason to walk in and go, oh, I can't see myself there.
Because buyers are so quick to, and this is no offence to anyone, but like buyers are quick to make those decisions, right? Because if you don't like the vibe or the feel, like we said, you're going to walk out straight away and go, don't worry about it. Yeah. I don't even like it. Something's off about it. I can see too much. You know, too much has happened here. I feel like it's not my house. You've missed the opportunity on a buyer that's probably walked in with pre-approval, deep pockets and ready to go. Exactly
right. So a room like that, I'm assuming you could stay, I think it's a bedroom maybe that you could, or an
a prayer room too.
Or anything like that. And then that's easy enough just to move all that and style it in whichever way you want, depending on the rest, how many rooms there are in the house. However we want, and make it appealing to everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And we're now going to switch gears to our last property, which now we're going to go to Frankston and just open this up here wide. So we've got an empty house, right? Nothing wrong with that. It's totally empty. We've got grey carpets that look a bit stained or have some issues on them. I don't know what that is in the corner over there, but I'm worried. And if you haven't, I didn't notice this actually when I picked this property. That window's smashed.
Yeah, I think we need to fix that.
Just perhaps.
And put the photos up with that and actually photograph that, wouldn't you?
Just put some.
Or we're just trying to be transparent and say, this is what you get.
I'm just wondering, what substance is that? Far out.
God.
And then even the discoloration, the paint.
Definitely needs, at minimum, paint and look.
A window replacement.
But I would be replacing the carpet or changing the floors. But again, if price is a factor and you don't want to do that, at least steam clean them, get it steam cleaned, and we'll use the beauty of rugs to, you know, accentuate.
We'll get the rugs from the other house.
As much. Well, imagine that there. Oh my God. The kitchen we could work with. That's okay.
Yeah, it's like a simple looking kitchen. So it's like, you know, your beiges, your whites, dark brown, maroon kind of, what do they call it, mahogany?
Yeah.
Like a mahogany floor. The trimmings for the doors and the windows are the same.
Yep.
But it's pretty neutral, I think.
Yeah, we could work with that. We've styled kitchens similar to that. So again, with a kitchen, there's not a lot. If it's neutral, you know, it's showing that this is a usable space.
That's right.
You know, you're going to put a tray with some utensils, a couple of bowls or whatever it may be. Just accessorise it to show this is a kitchen. You can use this. You can move around here. If I can't see if there's a lip under that.
I think there is, because there's like a wire.
Maybe put 2 stools there to show that you can sit here and have your breakfast. Make it purposeful.
So that's even just that simple tip of a couple of chairs, because like you said, you can't really tell unless you're going to you know, put your binoculars on that's an underside. And so that's the other side of the kitchen. So the window, or either if they're windows or doors,
I think
they're
it's
quite
a
nice.
Slide door,
but they're big and open. Like it's actually a pretty bright kitchen space.
It is. We could definitely work with that. That's not an issue. Okay, the red wall and the grey wall. And the stained carpet.
It's ripped too.
Beautiful.
So I'm giving Maria a challenge here, guys. So
this too much.
I am.
Can I just say, Jo, you're getting too big for your boots.
No, right, because I love when I get someone who's got the profession of seeing,
Wow.
it's a challenge, right? It's like, what do you do with this space? Because I think there's a lot of people out there that are in a position of either they have a home that they've over-personalised, not for any bad reason, just they've done a red wall because they liked red at the time. They can't be bothered painting it now they have to sell it. And they're trying to get away with everything, but it's like, where does this kind of stuff you up?
The red is such a fire engine red that it's difficult to actually work with that. The fact that there's a window there is probably a good thing because it's not like it cuts, like there's some of it that's not red.
Yeah, it breaks it up a bit.
I talked about some hints and tips in terms of art and things like that. You could change the curtains, but you have to paint this.
Yeah, so this would
You
be a
have to
strong
paint
suggestion.
this, a very strong suggestion. And to be honest, if they're spending money on staging, you can go and buy
Bucket of paint.
go to Bunnings now and just get a tin and do it yourself. Just that wall at least if you're not going to do the grey. But while you're at it, you can do the grey. And you know what? If you're that lazy, we can just add it onto our quote and I will personally paint that wall.
Really? That's how...
Yeah, I've painted walls before. If it's one wall, it's not a big job, but it's got to be done. Like that, you'll be surprised. That would be a great room for a before and after.
Yeah, it would actually. Maybe we should give him a call and go, do you want a staging job done?
But we're just that's out of my jurisdiction.
I was going to say,
we're based in the northern suburbs and we do go out at least 45 k's outside our radius, but that would be pushing it to get our moving trucks out there. But wow. Okay, what's going on there? Is that ripped up?
So
the floorboards underneath?
Yeah, they are. So that carpet, it looks like a section of carpet that was cut out.
It looks like they're marketing this as a demo.
Well, let's see what they say in the description of this property. I'd love it if they said something like a renovator's dream.
Yes,
that always
actually,
makes me
they
really
probably
happy.
will.
Because that would make my day. Where is it? It is open it is actively for sale and it's open this weekend.
Property.
Can't see that. There we go. Yep. Let me read it out. An incredible renovation opportunity close to Monash University and set on its own title with no body corporate. Spacious 2-bedroom offers easy living and huge rental potential, sitting proudly on its own 472 metres square, approximately allotment, and boasting a huge rear yard with a towering shade tree to form the basis of an entertainer's private garden retreat. The home has solid bones and generous rooms ready for a modern makeover. A large living area overlooks the front garden. There is a separate kitchen and meals area, huge laundry, 2 large bedrooms, a lock-up garage and a bathroom with shower and bath and a separate toilet. Hardwood floors are waiting to be polished.
Yep, they're waiting.
They've waited a while though.
Yeah.
While the brick facade could easily be rendered for a fresh, up-to-date look. A great first home or investment in a sensational location with a local milk bar just around the corner. Piss, that's at me, man. Like, sorry.
That's the selling point.
It's got the milk bar, to be fair. My fat ass is going, there's a milk bar?
That's it.
I'm done.
That's what seals the deal.
Less than 200 metres from Lawara Station and Monash Uni, 300 from Jubilee Park and Frankston Homemaker Centre. This unit is the rarest of 5.
Oh, yeah. That's one way to describe it. But look, at least they're saying it's a rent.
Well, even better here, the rental return on it says no rental return has been provided given the property does require works to be compliant. So it's not compliant either.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's not typically something that they'd ask to get staged.
Yeah, well, what I'm thinking is, right, like this doesn't look like usually they have to disclose if it's a bank sale, right? Yep. So it's not disclosed. So I'm wondering if this is a case of owners don't want to take it the extra mile to fix it up and maybe they can't.
Yeah, it's what it looks like. It's like we've given up on this. We just want out. We just want to get our money and move on.
But how much of a difference could you make? Like, let's say these guys said, okay, look, we're open to it. What could we do? And we've got this budget to play with. Let's say their budget was decent. How much more do you think you'd get to the property selling at $450 to $495? If you were able, because it's quite a spacious place, they're not wrong in terms of like the room sizes. What could you do to transform this?
The bare bones are good, they say.
Yeah.
That's what they've said, that the bare bones are good. Now, it goes without saying, a repaint new floors. I haven't seen the kitchen. I mean, I saw the bathroom.
Let's have a look.
Oh, yeah, here we go. So they're quite standard. It depends on the budget, but if you had to leave the kitchen and bathrooms, we could live with that. So it's the floors and the walls,
That
the paint. I mean, those tiles look like they've had better days. So the flooring in general.
Yeah, your husband could have a crack at that backyard.
Just clean that up and, yeah, plant some new grass seedlings where all the patches are, etc. Again, depending on the budget, but you could spend, if you were on an actual tight budget, you could flip this around with a minimal amount to make, to double your money at least. So, for example, if you were to spend 30 grand, you could make an extra 60 or something.
Wow, so that's kind of like how you...
That's how I'd... Yeah, because if you're not redoing kitchens and bathrooms, they're real expensive stuff, the proper structural things. Floors and walls aren't that expensive.
It's effort, right? It's always
You're not going to get the best floors, like the most expensive. You're going to go in the middle and go, I want this to be presentable and something that if someone is buying it as a rental, they can rent it out. It's ready to live in. It's fresh.
Because I'd be really curious on what this sells for, so I'm going to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, keep an eye on it.
Because I'd be curious on who's buying it, one, but two, what does it sell for? Because it looks like to me, if I go out, this is actually, I think, at auction this weekend.
Oh, wow. Be interesting to see if there's something comparable that's also selling that is done up.
And actually,
see what that goes for.
That's the last one I wanted to show you. Thank you for playing.
Oh, well, thanks for showing me those. That was really interesting.
I think we have to do this.
I could play this game forever.
I think we're going to have to play it again. I think we're just going to have to catch up for a coffee and beer. Right, let's have a look at some listings. How can we make them better? Where have they gone wrong? So, no, thank you so much for playing. And I hope you guys listening at home enjoyed that. And you can see this on the video on Spotify. We'll flash up all of the properties and how we were looking at them today because it's going to make a difference. We also want your feedback. So drop some comments and tell us what you would do different. But thank you again for playing with me. That's a wrap for this episode of the No BS Real Estate Podcast, powered by Abodey AI. If you found this conversation helpful, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who might need it. If you're looking for more guidance on your home buying journey, you can visit www.abodey.com.au for expert advice, property insights, and the tools you need to find the right home with confidence. If you're already on your journey, you can also download our app. Just search Abodey AI on the App Store or Google Play. Have any questions or want to connect, you can follow us on Instagram at abodey.com.au or send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.